Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, this is gonna be part one of a two-part little mini series of my top favorite perfumes that I tested out in 2023. We are into the new year, which means new fragrance discoveries, but we have to kind of highlight all of the favorites that I discovered in 2023, and I'm splitting this video up into two parts because I had so many amazing fragrance discoveries this year, and I thought it'd be kind of fun and nice to split this up into my top 10 affordable discoveries, which is gonna be this video, and then stay tuned for my top 10 more high-end designer slash niche fragrance discoveries as well. These aren't necessarily all new releases of this year. Some of them are, but it's mainly just fragrances that I discovered this year that just ended up being my favorites. So if you want to know my top 10 favorite affordable fragrances of 2023, then please subscribe to my channel and turn post notifications on, and let's get straight into this video. Starting off strong, I'm gonna start off with Yara by Lattafa. Not only just this, I just realized I actually have two others, so a total of 3 Arab fragrance discoveries in this video. And honestly, I just want to shine a huge light to Arab fragrances because they are some of the most amazing fragrances that I have ever tried. Granted, I've only tried a few. I think at this point I have about 4 or 5 Arab fragrances in my collection, some that I've discovered in previous years, but these 3 are the ones that I discovered this year, and all 3 ended up being huge favorites. And I need you guys in the comments to let me know any other Arab fragrances that are really good. You guys know my fragrance taste by now, so I'm sure you can recommend me some really good Arab fragrances. And by the way, this video was in no particular order. I literally audibly gasped when I first opened this in my car. I remember going to get the Amazon package and I ripped it open in my car, sprayed this out, and I was like, whoa. This reminds me so much every time I smell it of the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush scent, but it has differences to it. It has more of like a fruity feel, more so maybe like a pink feel. It's almost like you added like this bright pink strawberry note or some type of pink vibe to Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush or Cheirosa 62, you know, just the classic Sol de Janeiro scent. That's what this reminds me of so much, with that pink sweetness. Oh my god, it's addicting. And another thing about Arab fragrances, they last so long. Like, the performance of these fragrances is immaculate. So that is fragrance number 1. And since we're on the topic of Arab fragrances, let me get the other 2 Arab fragrances out the way. Next up, I have Casablanca. This is by Swiss Arabian. As you'll see in a lot of these, they don't have significant dents. Keep in mind, I have a huge fragrance collection, so I very rarely stick to just one scent, enough for me to make a significant dent in it. So I'll just use different things every single day, which is why you may not see huge dents. Doesn't mean that I don't love them, so that's just a little FYI. But this one is so good, perfect for this time of year specifically. But honestly, I see myself using this all year round. And the reason why I say that is because it is more of like a thick, sugary scent. It's pretty gourmand leaning, and Casablanca has this very characteristic, warm, apple pie kind of scent. I know a lot of people compare this to La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier, which I totally get. Oh my god, it's so good. It's like a caramelized apple pie, pear pie, which is the exact same thing I've said about La Belle in the past as well, but I almost feel like this is an even stronger version of La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. So if you like the vanilla-y pear pie gourmandness of that scent, but it's not like total gourmand, it still has that sexy, rich, perfumey vibe to it. This is just such a good scent, and for the price, you cannot beat it. I'm pretty sure this and Yara were around 20, 25, at most like 30 bucks. I just don't understand the price point of these perfumes for everything that they offer. Like, the scent is 10 out of 10, performance is 10 out of 10, longevity, sillage, literally everything is a 10 out of 10. How they do that, I don't know. For the price point that they have, it's actually crazy. And then another huge favorite of this year, and the last Arab fragrance I have in this video, this is Harem AlSulan Gold, and this is actually a fragrance oil, so it's not a spray. They do also make a spray of this, but this is so intoxicating. I did a whole dedicated review to this oil where I literally like unboxed it, smelled it for the first time on camera, and then just kind of went more in depth with the notes and everything. So I will link that up here if you're interested. This is just a fruity, musky, sweet type of scent. It's very, very sweet, but not in a synthetic way, not in a sugary way, mainly in like a fruity, sugary way. All that sweetness is just coming from those delicious, already really sweet fruits that this has, like pineapple. That is the number one thing that I smell out of this, is just a fruity, delicious pineapple, but it also just has this like richness to it, this luxurious vibe. It has a little touch of floral that just makes it so feminine and just really, really pretty. I can't get enough of this. So good. I love the applicator because it's not a dropper. It's just, I know one of you has told me what the name of this type of applicator is, and I always forget, but you just kind of like do that and then you're done. I freaking love this scent. I know it's overhyped. This went viral on TikTok and then it became like extinct. It was out of stock everywhere, and I'm pretty sure it's in stock now because I think the hype has died down a bit, so I think you can find it on Amazon. So those are all the Arab fragrances. Now let's get into all the other fragrances. This was such a huge favorite discovery. I discovered this towards the end of this year. I think I actually discovered this like beginning of December. So technically, I don't know, is this cheating? I haven't had that long with it, but I didn't really need much time with this to realize that I'm head over heels in love with this. This was a love at first sniff scent, and every single time I wear it, I cannot get enough of this scent. I really want to go back to TJ Maxx, which is where I got this, and buy like a million more backups. This is called Born Dreamer, and this is actually by Charli D'Amelio, which is the TikToker. I didn't know she had perfumes, but I know I've seen this in Ulta. Like when I go there, sometimes I'll see a stand and I don't think I've ever smelled this. And this perfume is actually still being sold at Ulta for like $54, and I found it at TJ Maxx for $16.99. So if you're gonna buy this, go to TJ Maxx. Don't buy it at full price on Ulta unless you absolutely have to and you don't have a TJ Maxx and you really want it, then I guess. This is like the little sister of Cloud. It has a lot of the Cloud DNA, but it also smells a lot like Ariana Grande's God Is a Woman because this has a pear note. So it's almost kind of like a fruitier version of Cloud, pretty much. It's like a pear version of Cloud. It has that warm, fluffy, cashmere, sweet scent that Cloud is known for, but then those fruity nuances, specifically that pear that is in God Is a Woman. This is pretty highly ranked on this list. I know I said this is in no particular order and it's not, but it's pretty high up there with like the best of the best fragrances that I tried out this year. Hands down, this is so good. I did not expect to love this as much as I did. Then I have another one that it's pretty similar to the vibe of the Born Dreamer, and it falls into that Cloud DNA type scent. And it's even around the same price point as Born Dreamer because I did find this at, I believe, TJ Maxx. I know I've seen it at Burlington and Ross as well. This is Guess Seductive Red, and this one is just like a sexier version of Cloud. This one again has that fluffy, sweet Cloud type scent, but it has cherry notes in it, and that just makes it even more addicting. It's so good, so sexy. The cherry is actually pretty prominent in this scent, which I feel like a lot of scents that have cherry in them just kind of say that they have cherry and then that cherry dies down really fast. Whereas in this, I can actually smell it for a good amount of time, even after I sprayed it, even in the dry down. So that's kind of impressive to me, especially for the price point of this. This was $16.99. Now, as you guys have heard me say, I'm a pretty huge fan of this whole Guess Seductive range. I've actually have not tried the original Guess Seductive, but you know I'm a huge fan of Guess Seductive Noir. I'm like known for pushing that fragrance out. That is one of my favorite affordable scents, and so many of you, I get comments to this day. I talked about that fragrance like 3 years ago on my channel, and to this day I get comments saying I found you through that perfume, or that I bought that perfume because of you and it's my favorite perfume ever. That one truly is just unforgettable. But this is another major win for this line. It's so good if you're a fan of the Cloud type scent, if you love cherry notes, if you love the Lost Cherry kind of vibe by Tom Ford. This is a very affordable way to kind of achieve that type of scent. And another one that you've heard me talk about a lot on my channel is this Curations by The Good Scent. This is called Manifest Your Future. This is what the bottle looks like, and I found this at Marshall's for $14.99, and I always feel so bad every time I have to talk about this scent because it is so hard to find. You cannot find this anywhere online, which I really don't like because I love this scent so much and I'm like savoring every last drop of this, even though I know it's full, but like I just don't want to use it. If you're a gourmand lover, these notes are totally right up your alley. This has top notes of candy apple, spiced pear, middle notes of caramel sugar and sage leaf, and base notes of coconut milk and vanilla cookie. I cannot begin to describe to you how good this is. I found this through TikTok because I had seen a bunch of people saying, oh my god, they found this at Marshall's and it's so good. And then I went on a little hunt for it at all these discount stores, couldn't find it, and I kind of just happened to find it one day after I wasn't even looking for it, and I found literally one. If there was a few on there, I would have gotten a few and maybe even sold some on Mercari to you guys so that you could test out this scent for yourself. My mouth is literally watering. I just sprayed this out and it's so good. How do I describe this? Okay, let me start off by saying this is not the most perfume-like scent. Like, this is not a sexy going out dinner date night kind of scent. This is not it, okay? This one gives me pretty big body spray vibes, but I don't want that to be negative because the scent of this is so good. It kind of reminds me, it has a little hint of like the Velvet Petals kind of vibe, but then those gourmand notes just blow me away, and they're done to absolute perfection where this doesn't feel like complete cake. It still has this freshness to it, this light airy vibe, but you can also smell each and every one of those notes. It starts off with a very prominent candy apple, a juicy bright red apple but with like a candy coating. You can smell that sweetness so much, as well as that spiced pear. It has this fall like spice to it, and then the caramel sugar comes in, the coconut milk has a creamy depth to it, and then the vanilla cookie just rounds everything together. It gives it that total gourmand feel, and when it dries down, this is like unforgettable. I wear this to bed so much. It's kind of like a go-to little lounge around kind of scent where I know I'm smelling bomb, even if I'm going to run errands. That type of scent. It's just a very easy to wear kind of scent, but especially for like lounging around, cozy, it's like my favorite scent ever. This one is very funny because if you guys saw my latest husband reacts to my perfumes fragrances that we just did not too long ago, I think it was in December that we did that video, and he had a very funny reaction to this scent. Let's just say that. Comment down below in this video and give this video a like if you remember what he said about this scent. I will link that up here if you want to check the video out yourself and see what he said about this. Let me just say it was not positive. He had a very specific reaction to this scent, but I disagree, okay? And I think the only reason why he didn't love it and he said what he said in that video is because he smelled it on a tester strip, and honestly, if I would have smelled this on a tester strip before I bought it, I probably wouldn't have bought it, because I totally agree with what he said in that video. It was so specific, but honestly so spot on what he said. But it's a totally different story when you actually have this fragrance on, when it mixes with your skin. This is Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream that came out this year, so this is a brand new release. This is so good. Out the bottle, it doesn't smell amazing, and on a tester strip it doesn't smell amazing, but on your skin, please test this on your skin. I know Walmart, I'm pretty sure, has testers of this scent, so if you can find a tester, spray it on your skin first before you make your full opinion on this scent, because it's a totally different story on skin. On skin, it just smells like that creamy, chocolatey, delicious scent of the original Sweet Tooth, which the original Sweet Tooth my husband loves. The only thing that he doesn't vibe about in this is this has more of a musky, more of this green vibe, and it kind of smells like Angel from Thierry Mugler when it dries down. It's a lot of sweetness happening in this one, and the notes are a little bit different to the original Sweet Tooth, where that one has white chocolate, this one has dark chocolate. So pretty much everything down to the notes and even the color of the packaging is just more intensified in this scent and just done in more of a darker way. So this is like the nighttime version of the original Sweet Tooth. I can assure you, if I wore this on a date night, paired it up with a body spray, a lotion, my husband would be all over me. Don't write the scent off. It's actually really good. It's just when you smell it on something or even out the bottle, it just doesn't translate to what it does when it actually hits your skin. When it hits your skin, it gets creamy, it gets chocolatey, it gets sweet, it gets perfumey, sexy. It's really good. So this was definitely a successful buy for me. I really love it personally. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my husband, or at least what he said in that video? Let me know. Next up, this is gonna be the freshest one out of all these fragrances, and my favorite freshie that I tried out this year is this Calvin Klein Sheer Beauty fragrance. This is a total dupe for a very high-end Chanel fragrance, which is the Chanel Chance Eau Fresh perfume, the one that has the green juice, not the pink one. But this also gives me a little bit of a vibe to the pink one, and I explained it in the haul that I did with this fragrance that I think this is literally like the love child of the Chanel Chance Eau Fresh and Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. It has that juicy sweet freshness of the Eau Tendre, but then it has all those woody, crisp, citrusy qualities of the Eau Fresh kind of put together. This is pretty unisex in my opinion, because I find the Eau Fresh very, very unisex, but the fact that it has a touch of the Eau Tendre too, it has a touch more sweetness than the Chanel Chance Eau Fresh, which is just crisp, woody, citrus type notes. There's like literally 0% sweet, and this one has a little bit of sweetness, which is why I feel like it makes this a little bit more feminine. So this is just a beautiful scent. I got this for like 20 bucks, maybe even cheaper at like Burlington. And the fact that this scent is comparable to those two Chanel fragrances, which are well over 100, tells you something, girl. Definitely get your butt over to Burlington if you're a fresh fragrance lover, because this Calvin Klein Sheer Beauty is worth every penny and then some. Then another favorite that I tried out this year is this Vince Camuto fragrance. This is called Chow. There's like a million flankers. I don't know what's the original and what the flankers, I don't know. This is the first one of this whole Vince Camuto line that I've ever tried, and the reason why I tried this is because where did I get this? Ross? TJ Maxx, Burlington, I don't remember where I got this, but I looked the scent up and all the berries that were in the notes and also the fragrances that it was compared to, I was like, yes, I need to try that. This was a blind buy, and it ended up being a very successful blind buy because I am such a huge berry lover in fragrances. I just love berries, and one of my favorite like top 10, maybe even top 5 Bath and Body Works mists of all time is Be Enchanted, and this to me is like the perfume version of Be Enchanted. It has that rich berry, pomegranate, juicy sweetness of that scent. This quite literally smells like the berry Haribo candies. It is so sweet, but it does have a freshness. It's not like sickly sweet or anything, but the berries are so prominent. It reminds me of 1,000 Wishes. It has this effervescent, bubbly freshness. Oh my god, this is so good. And then the last two fragrances, I bought these two fragrances this year, but I have tried them in previous years. But I wanted to include them because I pretty much rediscovered them this year and I wore the crap out of them. So first off, Victoria's Secret Tease is a classic. This has been out for so long, and this is kind of known to be a little bit of a dupe to Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture, which is another huge favorite of mine. I know it's a basic scent, but I don't care. If it's a basic scent, then call me basic, because I think these scents smell so good. And this scent and the Viva La Juicy scent were like my signature scents, especially when my husband met me. And every time I wear this, he's like, you smell like when I first met you. And I feel like that's the sweetest comment ever, like the fact that he remembers that. I feel like this scent, I have a lot of signature scents, especially after having such a large collection. I've discovered so many that I love, but I would say Victoria's Secret Tease has to be like my signature scent. Like I feel like if somebody smelled this, they'd be like, oh yeah, that smells like Xenia. And by somebody I mean like my family and close people that know me. Like my mom also, when she smells this, she's like, oh, it smells like you. Like I'm just associated by this scent. If you want to know what I smell like, it's Victoria's Secret Tease or Viva La Juicy. They smell very similar, but dare I say I kind of prefer Victoria's Secret Tease. It's like a very feminine, sexy, just like a perfect girly scent where it's not juvenile. It's just the perfect perfume. Honestly, if you're a beginner getting into perfumes and you want something crowd pleasing, it's gonna make you smell really good, you're gonna get complimented, you want to smell sexy, put together, Victoria's Secret Tease. And this also lasts a really long time. So yeah, and I have made a little bit of a dent. Oh my god, guys, I'm missing a nail. These are press-ons. This is a very easy scent to wear day to day, literally even going out, any occasion. It's so versatile and it's like my favorite scent ever. And I rediscovered it, I repurchased it this year because it was out of my collection for a while, and I don't think it will ever leave my collection. So yeah. And then the last one that I also repurchased this year. So I actually decluttered a little 1 fluid ounce of this. I decluttered that this year because I got this big one. This was actually the only fragrance in this entire video that was actually sent to me. I did a video with fragrancenet.com and they sent me this and also a Valentino scent, which you're actually gonna see that perfume pop up in my part 2 of this video, which is gonna be the favorite perfumes that I tried out that are expensive. But this one is Couture by Juicy Couture. This may be one of Juicy Couture's best perfumes, and it has this like very, I feel like vintage vibe. Like maybe you wouldn't think twice about this. Like you see this and you're probably like, I don't know. But do not walk past this. If you see this in any discount stores or literally in any store, pick this scent up. This will make you smell like $1,000. This, I feel like, is Juicy Couture's most like rich, most expensive smelling, most amazing scent. It reminds me a lot of the original Juicy Couture scent. Like Juicy Couture by Juicy Couture, not the Viva La Juicy. It's very floral, but it has that juicy sweetness. So although it is a lot of white florals, which honestly I'm not the hugest fan of when they're done at a high dose, but everything about this works. My husband loves this scent. I get so many compliments on this. It wears so well. It lasts forever. I included this in one of my OG videos. That is literally one of my most viewed videos on my channel, which is like the most expensive smelling cheapies, and still to this day I totally agree with that. So I rediscovered this year because I decluttered my little one after I got this because I didn't want to have two. I just wanted the big one. So that's the only reason why I decluttered that little one. I did not declutter it because I didn't like it. I love this scent. This will forever be in my collection. I just didn't want doubles. I recommend it to literally anybody, no matter what kind of scent preference you have, because I feel like this works for a sweet lover. It works for a floral lover, it works for a fresh lover. It's such a crowd pleasing scent that will get you so many compliments, I promise you. So those are all of my top 10 favorite affordable fragrances that I tested out in 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your favorite cheapies that you tried out this year that ended up being staples in your collection. Stay tuned for part 2 where I show you my top 10 favorite, more expensive / niche fragrances. That will be the next video to come. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.